Thanks for coming today. You know, I've only just completed my appraisal appraiser training, so I'm not entirely comfortable with the process, but I've gone through all the top-up training, and I was actually expecting a bit more evidence to go on for doing this.
Well, it's a bit hard to know what to collect, isn't it? I mean, it's a new process, effectively, so it's not information that I'm able easily to collect, and it's not information that's easily made available to me, so it's a bit difficult to know what to bring and where to locate it when I know. So I've brought what I've brought.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but surely you've had appraisals over the last 4 or 5 years where you've brought CPD certificates.
Well, as I've said, it's a relatively new process, and we're doing it in a relatively new way. So it's a bit unfair to expect me to bring a full set of evidence for first appraisal as part of a 5-year process.
I accept it's a rolling program, but I always thought you were supposed to produce some CPD for your previous appraisals. You must have those.
But that's been looked at previously.
Well, I mean, I can understand why you might feel like that, but what you have are just a few CPD certificates. There's no real, no audits, no outcome measures.
It's a bit difficult to get outcome measures for anaesthesia, as you know. I mean, if you're a surgeon, people send all this stuff to you. If you're an anaesthetist, you send your patients to sleep, they wake up at the end having had their operation.
I don't see very much evidence that I can it's not a tick box, but I can't actually confirm that you're keeping up to date or modifying your practice.
This is new stuff. Last year's appraisal and the appraisal the year before and the year before that have all been signed off, so they're okay. So I don't have to produce anything for them because they've been signed off, and this year this is new stuff. So I haven't had a chance to go through the extensive documentation that's required. I've got what I've managed to get, as I said.
There are a lot of things you do. I mean, you've seen all these things from the college.
Because I do intensive care every day and I read round the subject. You don't get formal certificates for keeping yourself up to date and reading round. And a lot of these conferences, it's the same stuff, same people all the time coming up and telling you exactly the same thing that they told you last year and the year before and the year before.
Yeah, well, I have to say, I think not very comfortable with your approach to this. One way that might help us is we've got to go through these 12 attributes.
Okay.
Have you seen those?
I think someone drew my attention to them. Yeah,
well,
I've scanned it.
I'll start with the first one as an example. The first one's keeping up to date with the law. That's a GMC one.
Yeah.
Are there any aspects that have changed over the last 1 or 2 years in intensive care?
Yeah, there's a couple, isn't there? There's consent for procedures in unconscious patients and stuff around organ donation.
The next one's about keeping clear and legible records. I mean, do you have any examples from anaesthetic charts that you've
I haven't got any anaesthetic charts. I mean, this is patient confidential details. I'm not going to carry around a load of patient anaesthetic charts that I've filled in. They go in the proper place where those is the patient's notes.
But do you think that the reports you write to the coroner are helpful, clear?
Yeah, he's not complained to me.
What about intensive care ones? I mean, you must write in the notes as your patients
well,
go
I do write in the notes on occasion. I'm told my handwriting is quite bad, so I try to keep it to a minimum.
But you don't have any evidence, even an anaesthetic chart or something that we could...
Well, I haven't been on a note writing course, no. Anaesthetic charts, no, I haven't got an anaesthetic chart with me or in my file, but I fill them in all the time.
If you were seeing patients for an anaesthetic, you would write on the assessment chart, that you'd actually seen them and examined them.
Well, occasionally you do. If there's any positive findings, you write those down, yes.
Just occasionally. What about, you don't record that you've checked things?
Well, if the patient's not allergic to anything, you don't write anything down.
Now, I don't know what you think about this, but I mean, I don't feel I'm getting anywhere with this, and whether it's my inexperience. We've gone through 3 attributes now, and I can't really sit down and say that I think you've produced enough evidence. I don't think I'm happy to carry on with this appraisal.
Well, bit unhappy about that. I've done my best. I've brought some of the stuff that you wanted.
I mean, I don't know how you feel, whether you'd prefer an appraisal as somebody more experienced.
Well, I would tend to agree with you. I think perhaps we need someone else with a bit more experience to do it, eh?
Yeah, I think it's best if we stop.
All right, I'll use some more of my valuable time up seeing someone else then, someone who can do the job, okay?